Right, I'm with Darren. 5-1 win over Snodland in the FA Vase. Much harder than, not that we expected, but a much harder result to get, really. First half we were poor. Second half it was more like the Rovers that you expect to see.
Yeah, absolutely. Firstly, I just need to touch on the fact that I know Sutton obviously had their game cancelled today, and quite a few of their supporters kindly came down and gave us some support today in light of their cancellation. So yeah, I was very, very frustrated with the first half performance for so many reasons. Didn't think the quality was good enough, didn't think the intensity was good enough. I don't know whether the players had a look at league standings or whatever and thought it was going to be a bit of a gimme, and maybe even after Ascot's result last night, which congratulations to them. It's a team also from the SCFL Division 1 in Thamesmead. I don't know, but it wasn't good enough, and unfortunately at the moment there seems to be a little bit of a pattern for us where we don't really get out, and then after a bit of a stern word and a few honest conversations, second half we've turned it around. I thought second half, I don't think anyone would say that we weren't head and shoulders the premier side in the second half.
No, I'd agree with that. If ever a goal changes a game though, it was our one right on the stroke of half time. Must have been first half injury time. Corner from Pitsy, flicked header by Matty Farrell. First time we've had anyone get across the keeper.
Absolutely.
But you could just imagine going in at the break, 1-0 down. They're just going to bank up. And for us then, it's going to be a case of, can you break them down? And knowing what sort of form we were in.
Yeah, and do you know what? It took the heat out of half time, no doubt at all. And it was still some pretty honest conversations to be had.
Okay, fair enough. I'd just say, second half we were by far the dominant side. I think it helped getting the early goal through Matt Tanton, who seems to be making a habit of popping up with goals at the moment. Aidan Brown, I think, got off the mark for the season with a neat finish. Obviously, Ollie Twum got the fifth, and I think that was well deserved because he had a stellar performance.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you must have been over the moon with the fourth goal. Aaron Boggle, 200 plus appearances. The lads let him take a penalty. Maybe you found a new penalty taker.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't spoken to him yet to see whether that was supposed to be going bottom right and it's ended up top left, and who knows. But very pleased for Aaron. He's a real clubman. He's a raw commodity, in many respects in this day and age. He's completely honest, completely committed. If you cut him in half, he's like a stick of SCR rock. The lad, has my utmost respect on and off the pitch. And yeah, for the boys to do that today, I thought, was good. I was glad to see it went in because it might have been a different conversation had the outcome been different. And then obviously the celebration with him was lovely for him.
Yeah, I mean, to an outsider looking in at 3-1 up against a side from a league below, that sort of celebration might be seen a little bit over the top.
Absolutely.
When you know the story, like 200 games, first ever goal.
Absolutely.
That puts it into a little bit more context.
Yeah, different kind of fish in it.
Personally, I've got to say, I'm glad we've got through. I've got a holiday booked over the half-term period, specifically designed for the first week to not miss a second round tie. So I was, that could have been cause for divorce, to be fair. It was a decent performance in the second half. So we looked to be coming back to what is our best, I think. Obviously, there's a few areas we still need to work on. I mean, ball retention was good, ball speed was poor, and that we'd get into positions and we'd slow everything down, and then we'd look really good and then we'd slow everything down. Obviously, that's something that you guys need to work on.
Massively so, yeah.
Okay. Let's touch on a couple of other things. Well, one other thing, really. Lots of chat on social media about players coming down and budgets and that sort of thing.
Is it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you've seen that or not, but there's a fair amount of speculation, shall we say.
Yeah, maybe that should stay on social media, Gav.
Possibly.
Yeah.
If any of that is true, do you have concerns over impact on some of the younger players in the club? People like your Ben Seniors, your Brad Williams, maybe looking to push into the first team and then seeing this sort of thing on social media.
I think you could have given me some fair warning that we were going to go down this route today, is what I think. listen, I'm not one to steer it, to avoid a conversation, but I don't particularly think it's I thought we were coming here to talk about the game today, Gal, not necessarily to be having a conversation about who isn't chatting on social media about this, that, and the other. To be honest, if it didn't come from the official account, it didn't come from me. I'm not sure where it came from. If you're kind of edging it, asking me who turned up at training the other night, because I know that there was some speculation on social media that I've been fed back through some of my management team. I'm not telling you. It's nothing. It's not for this interview. In actual fact, Gal, do you know what? Maybe just give us 2 minutes, mate. Let's come back.
Okay.
Right?
Fair enough, mate. Well, there you have it. Maybe a nerve touched somewhere along the line. But Mr. Salmon's a big enough boy. I'm sure he'll come back in a few minutes.
Okay. That's the first time and the last time that you'll do that to me. Maybe we'll have a briefing before. Listen, Gal, I will say, look, I guess there's a couple of points there that need touching on.
Yeah.
So, first and foremost, we had an outstanding turnout at training this week. The interest from we're lucky enough to know some high quality players, a lot of which at the moment are not attached. Now, I haven't signed them. I haven't necessarily done any deals with them, and some of these players undoubtedly have reputations at this level, of financial bias and stuff.
Okay.
I'm certainly not about to break the bank in terms of the club's financial situation to bring in players that are solely here for financial gain, and I think I've made it really clear that that there is a pathway for young players to come through from the 18s and the 23s. In fact, I must be one of the few managers that regularly go out and watch their 18s, midweek 18s and their 23s. Every opportunity that I get that doesn't clash with first team responsibilities. So, I do that not as a throwaway gesture, but as in order to see if players are good enough to be on the pathway, and even if that pathway is just to get them around training with the first team or whatever. So they're all at different stages of their journeys, but we've got some good players in the reserves, the 23s, both 18 sides. And I foresee over the course of this season some of them lads breaking into the first team setup. So no, I think if anyone would have seen the calibre of the people that was at training the other day, it was an outstanding training session, by the way, from the guys. But they had some good players to work with, and if that should actually inspire the players to go up a gear or two, because they know potentially that we can attract those calibre of players if that was our need.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for that. It's been an interesting interview, one of our more interesting ones of recent times.
Absolutely.
Home draw in the next round?
You know what, just give me 6 more home draws. I'll always be 5 and then at home and away when in the semi-final. Listen, do you know what, I think we're formidable if we're at home. But obviously at the same time, we're aware that everybody comes here and raises their game a little bit as well.
Yeah.
It's a nice place to come and play football. When is the draw?
Monday at 1 o'clock, I think.
Monday at 1 o'clock. Okay, we'll tune in Monday at 1 o'clock to see who we're going to get in the next exciting instalment of FA Vase 2019.
Thank you very much, mate.
Cheers, Gal.